بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone. First of all, I would like to thank our Faculty of Public Health and Health Informatics and the Deanship of E-Learning and Distance Education in Al Qura University for giving me this opportunity to be here today. Let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Muhammad Abdussalam Abdulaziz from Department of Environmental Health, Faculty of Public Health and Health Informatics. In these few minutes, I would like to give you a brief introduction to environmental health, explaining some environmental health concepts. So, what is the definition of environmental health? To answer this question, we need to know the definitions of environment and health. Environment can be defined as the circumstances, objects, or conditions by which one is surrounded. Focusing on human health, environment can be defined as all that which is external to the individual host. It can be divided into physical, chemical, biological, social, and cultural factors. Any of these factors or all of which can influence health status in population. WHO defined health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. According to WHO, environmental health comprises those aspects of human health, including quality of life, that are determined by physical, biological, social, and psychosocial factors in the environment. It also refers to the theory and practice of assessing, correcting, controlling, and preventing those factors in the environment that can potentially affect adversely the health of present and future generations. What is environmental health science? Environmental health science is the study of those factors in the environment that affect human health. Every day, we are in contact with the things in our environment. Some of these things are important and essential for our life, such as oxygen and other elements. Other things can be harmful to our health. Any agent in environment which has a potential to produce adverse health effect is called environmental hazards, such as toxic chemicals, radiation, pathogens, bacteria, viruses, protozoa, stress, and others. The sources of environmental hazards can be natural or anthropogenic. Anthropogenic means it is human-made. The examples for natural sources are volcanoes eruptions, forest fires, soil erosion by wind. And the examples for anthropogenic are industrial activities, agricultural activities, automobiles, and waste disposal. Any contact between environmental hazards and living organism is called exposure. To be exposed to different environmental hazards, these hazards should travel from their sources to our body through different environmental pathways. What are these pathways? These pathways include air we breathe, water we drink, food we eat, soil we play, we work, and we grow our plants. Once we have come in contact with these environmental hazards, it can enter our body through different routes of exposure. These routes of exposure are inhalation through our lungs, ingestion through gastrointestinal tract, and absorption through skin, which is called dermal absorption, or through the eyes, and it's called ocular. Effect of any hazards on human health depends on the dose. So what is the dose? The dose is the amount of toxicants that actually enters human body. Suppose one person has been exposed to carbon monoxide air pollutant. The health effect of this chemical depends on its dose. The larger the dose, the higher the health effect, and this is called dose-response relationship. There are many factors that affect the amount of dose received by human body. What are these factors? Number one, environmental concentration. Number two, route of exposure. Number three, duration of exposure. Number four, frequency of exposure. And number five, body size. The main tasks of environmental health specialists are to determine the source and nature of each environmental contaminant or stress, assess how and in what form the contaminant or stress comes into contact with the people, that's mean exposure, measure the resulting impact, health impacts and other impact, applying control when and where appropriate. Because environmental health problems are complex in nature, it requires multidisciplinary approach to evaluate and control them. So the techniques to address these problems differ from those applied in medical practices. Physicians, as we know, deal with one patient at a time, whereas environmental health specialists must consider all population. Moreover, environmental health specialists must try to anticipate problems to prevent them from developing. The goal of physician is to prevent a specific disease from lead to the death, and this is called clinical intervention model for health environment. Public health intervention model focus on prevention, the development of disease, and environmental stewardship model goal is to protect humans by preventing environmental degradation and its resulting impacts on health. Regardless of how competent they may be, environmental specialists cannot be expected to solve environmental health problem alone. Environmental health specialists need strong support from legislators, from public health educators, from program planners and economists, society also, and others to solve the complex environmental health problems. Thank you very much for listening.